With Europe, no. No negotiation with Europe. Unless Europe contributes a lot every year. If Europe contributes a lot every year, Trump will negotiate with Europe. But for now, Trump is not ready to negotiate. So, she says this. She says that the United States cannot afford to lose $1,900 billion in trade. We simply cannot afford it, especially while we are spending colossal amounts on NATO to defend European countries. We provide them with military protection, and yet we suffer trade losses. Here is what Donald Trump says. So, in a way, regarding the European countries, the money that the United States of America spends to ensure the protection of Europe, it must be reminded to all those who do not know, it is America that provides the military protection of Europe. That is very clear. And that is through NATO. So, Donald Trump had asked NATO, the NATO member countries from Europe, to pay 5% of their GDP. These countries refused. So what does Donald Trump say? He says, the United States will not negotiate tariffs with Europe unless it contributes significantly each year. So, he bases it on that. Since America pays a lot of money. Since America pays a lot of money to ensure Europe's security. So, America wants to make up for this loss on the commercial front. But what about China? Donald Trump doesn't pay anything for China. So, we return. What does he say to China? Share the video conference. Donald Trump gives until April 8th, tomorrow. Donald Trump gives China until April 8th to remove the tariffs imposed on the United States of America. He gives them an ultimatum until April 8th. If they do not undo what they have imposed, Donald Trump will raise the tariffs to 50% against China. Yes, from 34, he will raise it to 50%. That is to say, depending on how it goes in his mind, he will raise it. It's a simple figure. He sets it, then he stamps it, and it's done. So, Donald Trump threatens China with additional tariffs of 50%. This is it. Yesterday, China imposed tariffs of 34% in response to these already record tariffs, to these non-monetary tariffs, to these illegal subsidies to companies, and to its massive long-term currency manipulation, despite my warning. Any country that retaliates by imposing additional tariffs on the long-term tariff restrictions already in place in our country would face significantly higher new tariffs. This is what Trump declared. Jenny Trump says that China imposed tariffs of 34% yesterday, despite my warning, his warning, since he had warned that any country attempting to impose additional tariffs on those that these countries impose on America, America was going to increase other additional tariffs. And despite my warning, China increased to 34%. So, this is not tolerable. That is to say, he speaks like a father talking to his children. He says he gives until April 8th for China to remove its imposed tariffs. If China does not remove them, he will raise it to 50%. This is the message he is sending. We are waiting to see what will happen. Xi Jinping applauds. He watches. China too, it's a global market. China is a big market. This is the trade war. Let's go. He raises it to 50%. China will raise it to 50%. If he wants to raise it to 100%, China will also raise it to 100%. We'll see who will win this showdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the headline of international news. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I will be back shortly with more news. This was the voice of your one and only samurai. Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. Once again, you are welcome here on the Awakening of Consciousness platform. This is the headline of global news. It is very, very tense. It's very heated between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping. Each is trying to demonstrate their strength and power. But in this case, Xi Jinping, therefore China, has just commanded respect. And Donald Trump no longer knows what to do. Starts to growl at China. And then, finally, people are wondering, but is that gentleman okay? Is everything all right? Since what China has done, no country in the world has had to do. And Donald Trump, truly believing himself to be the one who rules the entire world, did not expect it. This behavior, this attitude from China, they thought that China would bow, genuflect, as other states have had to do. But they see the opposite. China is challenging America, and Donald Trump flies into a rage. He makes another announcement. So, the situation concerns this matter of customs duties. The taxes. You know that America has taxed all the countries in the world except Russia. But especially the country that has been hit the hardest is China. 34%. 34%. And what did China do? China also said nothing. The Chinese president, Xi Jinping, only signed a decree. Customs tax concerning the United States of America, 34%. That is to say, the same figure as the other friend. It's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This is what made Donald Trump very uncomfortable. And meanwhile, we have more than 50 countries in the world that have decided to crawl towards the Trump administration. But China, it's the opposite. This is what Donald Trump does not understand. Does China feel strong? What about, ladies and gentlemen, in the context of this video conference, this is what we are going to talk about. But first, you need to share the video conference. Share it as much as possible. Make sure to give it a lot of likes and don't forget to click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And especially activate the notification bell. This allows you, of course, to never miss our video conferences. There you go. Always leave a comment as well because these comments add weight to the video conference. To start, let's dive deep. To begin, more than 50 countries refused to challenge Donald Trump, but contacted the Trump administration to negotiate on the imposed tariffs. This is what Donald Trump likes. That countries come to grovel, that countries kneel to ask for forgiveness. Let's negotiate. And these negotiations, they will focus on certain things advantageous for America. And it allows America to feel superior to these nations. This is what China refused. No, China did not want to challenge. China preferred to challenge America. So, despite more than 50 countries refusing to challenge Donald Trump remained inflexible on the tariffs imposed on the rest of the world, despite a new tariff cost on the markets. His administration claimed that more than 50 countries had contacted the White House to negotiate. But Donald Trump remained firm. He changes nothing. So the question we ask ourselves is, what is the point then of trying to negotiate to get involved while Donald Trump was not going to accept? China refused. Xi Jinping refused. Now, what did China do? China simply applied reciprocity. 34% ended with a discussion. So, what is happening? For Europe, Trump sent an angry message to China. We will talk about it later. But let's go to the periphery first to help you understand better. Please share this video conference. Donald Trump stated regarding Europe that the United States will not negotiate tariffs with the United States.